What's up, fellas? So today we're here to talk about the biggest obstacles you're going to face on your way to becoming a high value man. Okay, guys? And there are a lot of obstacles you guys are going to face. It's not going to be nothing easy. If you're a guy and you just finding me now, you in for a long road. I'm talking at least 3-4 years of a hard road. And most of the guys, some of the guys been over here for a while following me now, and they just starting to get themselves, they feet up on them. I got one guy out here got his own channel. I can't think of the name, Modern something, but shout out to my brother, Soul Monger. But he started his own channel. I can't think of what the name of it is right now, but he just now starting to get that big bread. And he been following me since the beginning. Okay, and I just saw his video where he said he made 55,000 last month. And so this is what I'm talking about. The dude been following me. I've been on YouTube now 3 years. The guy been following me since the beginnings. All right, since I started my Patreon, he was one of the first guys over here, and that's been like 2.5 years now, and he just not getting his payday. So that's kind of the stuff you can expect, guys, on your way to becoming a high value man. Now, you have two kind of high value men. You got your superficial high value men that, you know, they have all the trappings of success, but they might not have the mindset. Okay, I call that a superficial high value man. And what I classify as a high value man, which is a true high value man, an alpha male high value man, is a man who has a mindset of abundance. All right, a man who, and when I say abundance, I mean in the business world and with women. When we talk about high value men, we mainly talk about the business world. And if you're a true high value man, and this ain't for me to put nobody down in that. If you have a good job working with somebody, that's fine. I'm not trying to knock you in that. But when you're a true high value man, you gonna have your own business. I'm just being honest. You gonna say, wait a minute, I'm a lawyer. I'm making this son of a bitch rich. Why can't I start my own little law firm? You gonna have that confidence in yourself to do that. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know no other way to say it. Well, if you're an electrician right now, you're gonna say, wait a minute. That job is a $200, $300 job an hour, and he paid me $40 an hour. Why can't I get my own damn truck? Why can't I get my own logo and stuff and start my own company? If you're a true high value man, you gonna think this. Now, if you somebody who's building, working up till you get to that point, you just gonna think that. And like I heard Mark Cuban say, entrepreneurs are people that work 80 hours a week to not work 40. That's just the mindset. I don't know no other way to say it. So if you're a guy and you got a nice stable, no matter what your job is, right? Unless you're a doctor or something, right? Unless you're a doctor or something like that, pretty much anything else, and even a doctor, right? You can start your own practice. But I'm talking about like if you are a heart surgeon or something, you're gonna have to work pretty much for a major hospital. I don't know too many private doctors who do heart surgery. They mainly work for big hospitals and stuff like that right there. But even doctors, family doctors and stuff, they have their own little practice and stuff. All right, it's just the way it is, except for a few jobs where you might have to work for somebody. Off the top of my head, the only one I can think of right now is a doctor, but I'm quite sure there's others also. But you just gonna think to yourself, man, why can't I do what this guy did? That's just the way you're gonna think. That's just no way about it. If you're somebody who working for somebody, but you have a steady job, but you might don't want to make a career out of that, you're gonna think to yourself, let me save my money and let me start working on something I'm passionate about in my spare time. If you're a high value man, I'm sorry, that's just the way you're gonna think. That's the way you're gonna think. I'm sorry. You could take this YouTube shit away from me right now and say, you can't be a personal trainer no more. Okay. I'll become a welder. I'll sit there and I'll figure out how to start my own business. So I'll go work for somebody for 2 years or whatever, 2-3 years. And I'll sit there and I'll figure out how to start my own business, start my own little thing. That's what I would do. I would not be content with just working for somebody. That's just me. But anyway, came up with a few guys. Y'all know I got my little list. So the number one biggest obstacle, and I'm not putting these in no particular order. All right, I just made the list. Number one, women. Now this is the funny thing, right? If you have a girlfriend, she wants your time. She wants your time. She's not going to, any of you guys who are on your purpose right now, I get the emails all the time about guys telling me, oh, my girl say I don't care enough about her. I don't show enough attention and stuff like this. And so she broke up with me or she left me and stuff like this right here. You're going to get that. And just to touch on that a little bit, I'll take this to my grave, guys. Those guys, when they're with the girl, they're not doing something right. You're not doing something right. You kind of like just an ordinary guy. You're not showing, you're not feeding her scraps. You're not doing something right. I'm gonna go to my grave believing that. There's no way in the world you're gonna tell me you're working. You see your girl one day a week, and she just dumped you because you're not giving her enough attention. I'm not gonna buy that. What I'm gonna buy is that one day when she's with you, it's nothing spectacular. It's just another day. Cause you boring as hell. You have no sexual charisma. You don't know how to feed her scraps. You just a cold dick that just don't know how to balance between showing too much affection and not showing enough affection. That's what that is. But the point of it is, she will be a distraction. She will want some of your time, and it can cause stress upon you because you battle between, should I spend more time on my purpose or my grind, or should I give my woman that more time because she's asking me? All right, or she's bothering me. A good rule of thumb is if it's that big a deal to her, and it's a girl that you really like, for my purple pill brothers out there, give her 2 days a week. All right, just bump it up another day, Wednesday and Saturday, or Wednesday and Sunday, or something like that. That usually will fix it, because now you got 2 days in between since you seeing her and stuff like that, and that usually allows enough space to her to miss you. Okay, that's what I've seen. So give her 2 days. If you single, you start to feel like a dude that ain't got no bitches. And that's not a very good fucking feeling. And to meet women, you have to go on dates, or go out to be socializing and stuff like this. So you got two situations. If you got a girlfriend, she's getting on your nerve, you're not giving enough time. If you're single, you feel like you need a girl in your life. You need to at least bust a nut once a fucking week or once a month or something. So then you feel lonely. All right, even if you're on your purpose, you just feel like I need some affection some motherfucking time. Some girl texts me, good morning, how your day going, baby? Okay? So you got two caveats. So that is going to be the biggest issue. All right, if you single, like I tell you guys, what I found out for me, a good balance is to go out on the weekend and socialize on the weekend. That's the balance I found that works for me. I'm all for grinding and stuff like that. And hey, I could grind 16 hours a day through the week. What I found out a good balance for me is if I do that, take the weekend off and recuperate and have a social life. All right. And I'll explain why later on in this video, but that just relieves the stress and it allows some balance in your life. You're still going to be out of balance. You still going to be 80% grind, 20% play, right? You still don't get it twisted like it's balanced like 50-50. No, it's still 80-20 grinding, right? Because even if you grind that hard through the week, on the weekend, you still kind of tired. So you'll go out and socialize, but it's not like you full of energy and vigor, right? You still kind of worn out from putting that type of time in, but it allows your brain a mental space to recuperate and recharge the batteries. Okay, guys? But women will be your biggest obstacle into becoming a high value man, without a shadow of a doubt. Number 2, finding your purpose. If it's just a luck of the draw. I was 34 when I became a personal trainer, right? 34 years old when I became a personal trainer. 34 years old before I found my purpose. Most of you guys watching this right now are probably 21, 22 or younger. Okay? I'm just putting it into perspective. So what ends up happening if you haven't found your purpose in life? It's hard to grind and put 80 hours a weekend on something that you're really not that passionate about, right? It's like a good job. It's a good career, but I ain't really that passionate about it. Grind in the fucking way. The fact of the matter is most of you guys might not find your purpose. Most of you guys are probably going to go to the grave without ever finding your purpose. And that's fine. Life ain't fair. A lot of you guys are going to go to the grave never experiencing love. All right. Life ain't fair. It is what it is. What I tell you guys, grind in the fucking way. All right. Life ain't fair. Some people find their purpose. Some people can't. Some people 6'5". Some people ain't. Some people are mesomorphs. Some people are endomorphs. Life ain't fucking fair. Okay. If you're a mesomorph, you have a genetic advantage over the other two groups. You just gonna be more physically. A mesomorph ain't gotta touch no weights. A mesomorph can just look at some weights and start growing muscles. Endomorphs and ectomorphs can't do that. Life ain't fucking fair. Don't give me life ain't fucking fair. You fucking men, you grind any fucking way. But it's hard to stay consistent on that grind when it's something you're not passionate about. It is what it is. If somebody would ask me, what's your purpose when I was 27 years old? I would say, hell, man, I don't fucking know. Fucking bitches, I don't fucking know what my damn purpose is. Okay? So that's the situation on that, guys. That's going to be another big obstacle, but don't let it deter you. Okay? You still, listen, let's say you an electrician right now. You be the best damn electrician that ever walked the face of the fucking earth. So what, you not passionate about it? Get out and live life. Maybe you find your purpose, maybe you don't. But grind on that. We ain't gonna sit around like some depressed fools trying to find ourselves like some lovable losers smoking weed in the park. Tell me I ain't found my purpose. No fucking excuses. I don't give a damn if you don't find it. You still grind on what you doing. Next, developing delayed gratification. Now, the thing with the delayed gratification, guys, is this here. Say you, and understand that everything I'm talking about is a superficial high value male, right? Becoming a superficial high value man. I think that's what everybody wants to know. To becoming a high value man, a dude with the car, a dude with the house, a dude that dresses nice, just a high value man, a man he got his shit together all the way together. That's what I think most of us think of when we think of a high value man. Like most of y'all guys believe, like I believe it's a mindset, but I'm just speaking on a superficial level. What's the thing is, most of us want to look like that superficial high value man, but not really be that high value man. So what does that mean? You got a job, you're an electrician or whatever, and y'all guys got to understand I live in New York, so some of these numbers I throw out might be askew, but let's say you're an electrician and you make 125 grand a year. I know you ain't gonna make that in the South, but y'all just follow me. All right, now I want to be perceived as a high value man, right? So what I'm finna go do, instead of invest this 125 grand or whatever's left after taxes, I want to give the illusion of being richer than what I am. So instead of reinvesting back into myself, I'm finna now join the fucking rat race, which means I'm finna get a BMW, a nice penthouse, and some nice tailor-made clothes. Okay? And if you guys, you technically can still be a superficial high value man. You got your stuff together, you make 125 grand. Or you can reinvest that money 3-4 years into yourself, and now you're making 800 grand a year. You see the difference? It's a big fucking difference. Okay, guys? Now that's the thing. You went about that. You could have did the delayed gratification, reinvested into your business to grow it, marketing, better equipment, whatever the fuck you doing, more equipment. It don't matter. And grew it, and then get the bullshit. Okay? That delayed gratification is key, guys. It's key. For all you guys that's just getting out of college and stuff like that, you getting in your careers right now, and you get that 6-figure salary. This is what you got to say to yourself. Y'all guys want to know what I said to myself in that basement? Y'all guys know I was making 6-figure living in that basement for a couple of years before I finally moved to the city. Did y'all guys realize that? I got tired of being a consumer. I just got tired. I just like, man, I'm tired of being a consumer. Work, buy bullshit. Work, buy bullshit. And at the end of the day, you really ain't got nothing. What you want is, you want to get your money in a position to work for you, then buy the bullshit. That's what I'm trying to get. That's what investing is, guys. You do the delayed gratification. You allow your money to work for you. 5 years from now, your money is still making you money. So let's hypothetically say you make 125 grand, just so I can put this in perspective, right? And let's hypothetically say you're not the entrepreneur type. Just say, man, I'm not the entrepreneur type. I like my job, make 125 grand a year. I don't want to be no entrepreneur. Fuck AMS with all his high value mindset bullshit. I like my job. Fuck him. Let's just say you took that money. Let's just say you took 50 grand of that money for 5 years and just invested into index funds, right? And let's say 5 years later, you got 250 grand invested into the stock market in index funds. And let's say you get a 7% return a year on that 250 grand. You see what I'm saying? You making about 20 grand a year passively. 20 grand a year passively off of that. Now I want to put that into perspective now. 20 grand a year, that's about $400 a week passively that you're making sitting on your ass. That's like somebody sending you a check for $400 every week in the mail off of that 200. So basically, since you delayed gratification for those 5 years to get that 250 grand into the bank, for the rest of your life, and after you dead, that 250 grand could be making your great grandkids $400 a week off of the stock market. Do y'all guys get that? Think about that. If you can just put 250 grand, sacrifice for 5 years, put 250 grand into the stock market, a 7% return will be about 20 grand a year passively on average. Some years it might be 16%, some years it might be 2%, but it'll average out to about 7% a year. And just think about this. Imagine you getting a check in the mail every Friday for $400 for eternity. Think about that. Not till you die, to eternity. So even when you dead, the people that come behind you will still be getting that $400 a week as long as they don't touch the principal, which is that 250 grand. That's called letting your money work for you. Do y'all guys get that? That takes delayed gratification though. That takes, imagine to harp it home even more, imagine if you put the 250 grand in there, didn't touch it, kept working, and now it compounds. Imagine if it compound like that for 20, 30, 40 years, that you don't just touch it. You see what I'm saying? That's the point I'm saying. And as it's compounding, now it's going to start making more. So imagine it compounds up to 400 grand. Now you got 400 grand in there and you making 700 a year, 7% a year on 400 grand or 500 grand. That's 35,000 a year passively. You see what I'm saying? So that's the key with delayed gratification, to allow your money to work for you. It's hard to do because we live in a society where everybody wants to give the illusion of being more than what they are today. Nobody wants to have that patience. That BMW you gonna go get, that $60,000, $70,000 BMW you gonna go get, if you was to put that into the stock market, it would have earned you about maybe about $100 a week passively for eternity. Okay, guys, very important. Delayed gratification. You got to develop that. You got to say, man, I got 50 grand off my business. I'm not going to go put it down on the house. I'm going to reinvest it into the business so it can make me some real paper, some real money. Next, burnout. This is going to be another one too, because what ends up happening is most guys are so gung-ho. Most of you guys who find me, first thing you think, oh man, self-improvement, I'm finna grind. 3 months later, your ass done burnt out, depressed, and sad. I know, guys, this is a marathon, not a sprint. If you try to come into this thing balls to the wall 7 days a week, 16, 18 hours a day, I promise you within 3 to 6 months, let's say 6 months, your ass gonna burn out. It's a reason why LeBron James coasts through the regular season, then he turns it up in the playoffs. Y'all guys ever notice how his playoff numbers always go up? In the regular season, they kind of like, that's good. In the regular season, he turned to 30 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. That's not by accident. He knows it's a marathon. LeBron James basically gave up winning MVPs to try to win championships because he coasts through the regular season because he know you would burn out. You can't go to the gym 7 days a week. You can't grind 7 days a week. I know you get, if any of you guys get on this self-improvement kick, you like, oh man, this is it. I'm on it. But you got to pace yourself. You're not going to become a billionaire overnight. It's going to take some time. It's going to take you 4 or 5 years. I ain't saying you're gonna be a billionaire in 4 or 5 years, but you get what I'm saying. It's gonna be 4 or 5 years before you really where you want to be, unless you one of the guys who luck up. Next, number 5, depression. Doing that grinding and stuff like that. The number one thing it causes is depression because a lack of a social life. So when you go in that cave like that, you run the risk of being depressed. And a good sign for all my guys who've been over here grinding for a while and stuff like that, I get guys asking me all the time, AMS, I'm losing my motivation. AMS, I'm losing my motivation. I can't stay sidetracked. That's because you don't have no balance in your life. You might be battling depression. A good sign of depression, guys, if you might be battling depression, is when the alarm goes off in the morning, how vigorous are you to get up? That's the same way you can judge if you overtraining at the gym. When it's gym day, you supposed to be pumped, ready to go. If you kind of like, oh God, you doing too much. And that's the same way when you wake up in the morning and you ain't vigorous, ready to go, like, let's get it. You doing too much. And you might be depressed. Okay, guys? So, and that just comes from a lack of a social life, guys. We have to, I'm just telling you from experience. I tried it when I first started doing this shit. And I quickly, well, I ain't gonna say quickly, it took me a while. It took me a few months. But I quickly realized I had to get more balance in my life. That's what I started going out on the weekends to get some balance, and you can't grind like that. I know y'all guys get all gung-ho, but I don't want you guys getting burnt out, and I don't want you guys suffering from depression. All right. And well, this is what happens. If you fall into a state where you get the burnout, what happens is sometimes it can be hard to get back going again. That's the thing. It can be, once you burn out, like people, when you see fat people join the gym at the beginning of the year and then they do too much and then they burn out, they don't come back. Because once you burn out, you just mentally burnt out. So it's hard to recharge the batteries to go again. So the best just not to burn out in the begin with, guys. Next, guys, your current job. Most of us, we work a job that we don't like. And this was with me with the training also. We work a job. It takes a lot of our time. So it's hard to come home and build what we're trying to build because we have a fucking job. And that's just going to be, it takes up the time. It kills the time. And what happens is you go work this job 8, 10, 12 hours. Now you tired. And now I got to go home and work 4 more hours I'm tired. I want to fucking eat lollipops and watch fucking Seinfeld reruns. But you got to come home and grind. You got to find the energy, the motivation. How bad do you want it? You're going to be tired. I was tired. Just go look at my face on some of them first live streams I did. Look how tired I look on some of them live streams. You're going to be tired. You're going to be tired as hell. You got to grind through it. All right. Rest on the weekend. You just going to have to grind through it. I don't know no other way to tell you. This is what's going to separate the men from the boys. It's easy for anybody to build something if all they got to do is do that. But to go work a job 8, 10, 12 hours a day and then come home and build this, what I'm trying to build on the side, that's what separates the men from the boys. Or go work an 8-hour job and then take night classes or online classes. That's how bad do you want it? If you don't want it that bad, fine. Just don't complain. That's all I ask. Just don't fucking complain. Everybody got to go through that, guys. It ain't just you. Most people that you see successful, they had to build what they was building on the side and work a job until they got that where they needed it to be. That's everybody had to do that. Next, guys, family and friends. Now, this ain't about no hating. They just gonna think you lost your goddamn mind when you talk about putting in more time. You spending all your life savings on doing this and doing that. Y'all guys got to understand, they have the consumer mindset. They don't have the investor mindset. So if you bust your ass to save up 10, 20 grand, 30 grand or whatever, and you tell them you finna put this in a business, they don't think you lost your rabbit ass mind. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. It's best for all you guys doing something on the side. Don't even tell people. Because you got to understand, it's not that they hating on you. They just programmed to work a job and die. They don't think entrepreneur. So when you tell them you're going to start your own electrical business, they're going to think you lost your rabbit ass mind. And you know what they're going to tell you? It's already a lot of electrical companies. How you going to compete with them? That's what they're going to tell you. That's what they're going to tell you. That's how their mindset thinks. They think scarcely like that. They think, oh, you're going to open a restaurant? Well, there's already a lot of restaurants. Why ain't anybody going to buy a hamburger from you when they got all these other restaurants? Why McDonald's there, Hardee's there? Why are they going to buy something from you? Because they've been trained and programmed to be employees. They can't think that high. And they'll deter you. You spending your whole life savings on something that they think is complete ludicrous. Okay, man, y'all should have saw people's face when I told them I was writing a book. They just looking at me like, oh. Like they ain't want to respond, like they ain't want to say nothing, like, okay, all right, you writing a book. Because in their mind, they can't compute. You writing a book? Who the hell you think you are, Stephen King? They can't compute it. It don't compute. It's just to them, they just, who the hell you think you is writing a book? It don't make sense to them. But you better get your ass back and work. That's how they think. So you guys are going to have to, the good course of action with this, guys, when y'all guys start doing this and investing, don't tell nobody. Just keep it to yourself. I told y'all guys in a previous video, telling people that stuff. They was coming up to me every goddamn day. How the business going? How the security business going? You got any contracts yet? Man, I started the fucking business Monday. It's Wednesday, man. Can you give me 2 weeks? That's what they start asking all these questions. So you tell somebody I start my own electrical company. You tell them that on Friday. By Tuesday, they asking you got any business yet? Got any business yet? How the business going? Man, it's been 3 fucking days. How the hell you think it's going? Next, guys, your own social programming. Now, I was talking about other people, your own social programming. You are trained to be a consumer, not an investor. And it's hard to break that it's hard to have money in your fucking hand, right? Money in my hand. I got 10 grand in my hand. I'm busting my ass, ate up 10 grand. It's going to be hard to, I'm going to put this on starting a business. It is going to be hard because in your mindset, I can go put down on that nice car I've been wanting. I got this 10, 20 grand I saved up. I can put this down on that house I've been wanting. Man, I've been wanting that infinity for a long fucking time. Or whatever the hell. It's hard. Your own social programming. Fuck other people's social programming. Your own. I'm telling you that shit, it is very hard. Let's say you got a business, right? It's hard. So let's say your business is making $1 million a year. And now you want the next level of wealth, which is to invest into the stock market or real estate, right? It's going to be hard for you to go flop down 150 grand to pay for a house. All right. I don't want you guys doing debt. I'm a big Dave Ramsey fan. All right. To go and pay 150, 200 cash for a house. You know what kind of house you can get for yourself for that? That you can put down. And when I say, I'm talking about it's okay for you. I'm talking about if you're going to do rental properties, I prefer you guys to buy it. Now, if you're talking about yourself a house, then fine. But if you're going to talk about rental properties, you don't want to be paying mortgages on something that you depended on tenants having their money on time. You don't want to do that. What if you can't rent the place out for 7 months and now you got to pay that mortgage? Ain't nobody staying there. All right. So I'm a big proponent of Dave Ramsey method of if you're going to do real estate rental properties, pay cash for it. But that's the mindset. Who wants to do that? Who wants to flock that 150? Man, I can stunt hard for that. It's your own social programming you're going to have to. It's a hard thing. It seems simple. I'm saying that, right? Because a lot of you guys don't have no money. When you get some money, you get 30, 40, 50 grand in the bank. It's going to be hard to take that out to go invest in something that you don't even know is going to work out. Number 9, developing perseverance. So it's a learning curve. You're going to take fucking losses, guys. It takes a while sometimes to figure out the business model. Sometimes you don't really know how to go about doing it. You're going to take losses. It's the way it is, guys. It's a learning curve. I guarantee you this will happen. You start a business and you're trying to figure out how to market it. So you do Facebook ads, you do Instagram ads, you do Google ads. And you're going to waste money sometimes to find out none of them really work. You got to do something else. And that's the thing. You got to be able to persevere through those hard times. You might have to change the business model. This whole business model ain't working. Maybe I have to tweak things, evolve it a little bit. For a lot of you guys remember when I first started, everything was about manipulating women, and now it slowly done went into a goddamn life coaching channel. That's how it goes. You have to evolve the channel. Go back and look at my first 50 videos. And look at my latest videos. Totally different channel. You have to evolve. Anybody want to hear me talking about some dig them down, toss them to the side of the road no more 3 years later? Nobody want to hear that shit no more, man. What else you got? So you got to evolve the business, but you have to take those chances and be able to take those losses and persevere. A lot of people, it breaks them. They quit. It's just the way it is, guys. You're going to have to develop some type of perseverance. It's not going to be all peaches and cream. I can tell you that shit now. Next, guys, bills. Bills. Ain't that nice? Bills. You got to pay those motherfuckers. So what ends up happening? A lot of times what we think of, because let's just be honest, a lot of us are broke, living check to check. And I'm spending my spare time working on something that I don't even know. Meanwhile, I got these bills coming in, kicking my ass. And you start thinking like, I could be working extra overtime at my job or get a second job to help with these goddamn bills. Instead, you got to come home and work on something that's probably ain't gonna pay you for 3 fucking years. That's why I left college the first semester. I'm like, 4 years and they ain't gonna pay nothing? Now I went to school late. I stayed a semester, I was gone. I was like, damn this shit. And went and got a fucking dead end job making $10 an hour. That's how short term a thinker I was. You see what I'm saying, guys? And so, and that was that one semester I was in school. That one semester I was in school was what messed up my credit years later. That stayed on there because I let it went into default. A lot of you guys remember me talking about that in earlier videos about a school loan going in default. That's what I was talking about. That shit had my credit fucked up for years. Okay, guys? But that's the thing with that, guys. Bills. Bills will make you feel, because this is what happens. We have these big plans. We have these big dreams. But then we get caught up into this consumerism. We're going to get scrapped with a car note. We're going to get scrapped with a bigger crib than we need, a bigger apartment than we need, or a nicer apartment than we need. And all of a sudden now, we done went and joined this rat race. But I got these big plans to start my own business. But I need to work extra hours to pay these fucking bills. That's the thing. A lot of you guys right now watching me right now, you want to start a business, but you like, man, I got to work fucking 60 hours just to pay the bills I got. Those bills can hamper you sometimes. That's why it's important not to join the rat race, because it will prevent you from having time to put into your business. Okay. Obviously kids, I just thought about that, but obviously kids are the same way if you got kids. Next one, guys, lack of confidence. If you somebody who was like me, who seemed to never finish anything you fucking started, the confidence when you start something, you have this doubt in your head that I'm gonna be able to finish. That's what I was thinking when I started my book, the first book. I'm like, I bet I'm gonna quit somewhere down the line. I'm gonna say fuck it. That was all going through my head. And even though I had finally did something with the personal training, which was my first major accomplishment, as in completing something that I had finally started, right? When I started that book, it was like a next level shit. It was like, I started writing a book. Oh, that's why it took so long. So but I had the confidence that I had got that personal training certification, that I felt like if I did that, I could do this. And another thing, guys, will hold me accountable, guys, with every video. What a book. So that's the thing with that, guys. The lack of confidence will hold you. Got to be able to just do it. Just start it and say, man, you know what? I'm not going to quit no matter what. That's just something you have to build by just fucking doing it. And the confidence, every milestone you get to, every hurdle, you'll get a little bit more confident, a little bit more confident, a little bit more confident. That's how it was when we used to do all them cold approaches when I was younger. The first one, you feel a a little anxious. The second one, a little less anxious. Man, by the third or fourth, man, you don't give a fuck if a bitch reject you or not. You like, man, fuck them. You literally don't care about a rejection no more. By the time you get about the fifth girl, they just bounce off of you. It's like you just lose. You done got comfortable with it. Now it doesn't bother you no more. And that's how it is going to be once you start crossing these hurdles. Now the confidence starts to build. You do one thing, you do this, you do that, you get the logo, you get the LLC, all this shit. Now you're like, damn, I'm really fucking incorporated. I'm a fucking business. And you build that confidence up in yourself. But you got to get that. And the last one, guys, developing a strong work ethic. That is just something that just has to be done. Most of us, society teaches us to be lazy little fucks, and we're entitled to a vacation every 2 weeks. That's what society teaches us. Society teaches us you work 8 hours, you deserve a Heineken when you get home, and kick your feet up, your day is done. You have to develop a work ethic that's like none other. You got to be able to sacrifice. I can't give you that. You just got to want it bad enough. But you have to develop that work ethic. You have to hold yourself accountable. How I did it, guys, I had a knockoff time every night, 10 o'clock. Because I had to get up and go to train in the morning. So what I did was I would make myself work to 10 o'clock every night. That's how you do it, guys. So for all you guys wonder how you set a time. Maybe it's not 10. Maybe for you it's 8. Set a time that I'm not going to knock off until this time every night. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Hold yourself accountable. I'm going to grind till then. Develop that strong work ethic. Everybody wants everything easy now. Everybody wants 6-pack abs in 10 minutes, and everybody want to get rich in 10 minutes. And it's hard fucking work. And you have to develop that work ethic. There's no way around it. Either you want it or you fucking don't. All right, guys. So those are the biggest obstacles that you're going to face on your road to becoming a high value man. I'll get back with you guys later.